Hi, this is Willie. Continuing a little bit on the garden tractor while I'm waiting on some engine work to get done on the generator. So, just wanted to show you how far I got on here. Now, I was going to use this 1/2-inch rod with grade 8, but I couldn't find any all-thread grade 8. So I have some 5/8 inch threaded rod, stainless steel, coming in to replace these. And let me get that off, but you get the idea. That can be moved up or down, and it's got a 2-inch hole in here I had cleaned up, and it just barely clears the transmission in the back here. I had to ream these holes out to accommodate the angle, because there's spacers on this angle iron holding this out a little bit further versus the one on top, which is flush. So that's just giving me an idea on what's going on there. And since I use this tractor to move trailers around, I had stuck my hitch back on it as well. That's one of the big uses around here, because we have two main parts to our property, so moving boat trailers around can be a little bit of a pain. Using a vehicle when it comes to parking them in tight spaces, so I use the garden tractor to move it around. And the wheelie bar wheels are about 5 inches off the ground and at least 5 inches away from the rear tires. So I measured everything out and tried to get as square as I could and as level as I could. And this angle iron is welded to the inside piece, so it pivots out here, which was a little bit easier to do than trying to box the end in and having to cut longer angle iron in here. So if I ever wanted to, I can drill holes in this to move this wheelie bar in or out to clear the bigger wheels, which is why I did it that way. So I can move this bolt for this pivot point in another inch or out another inch. Actually, yeah, well, either way, I can adjust that. Even if I had to cut those off and put longer ones on, I can. Because that's just 3 pieces of angle iron, one here, one there, and one over here. So it's all easy to replicate. And there's one piece of angle iron that runs up along the frame right here and bolts up. As you can see, running down in there. So it all works. And I can stand on this and it doesn't go down much. It flexes a little bit, but I was jumping on it and no major flex. So this is 1/4 inch by 2-inch angle iron. It's pretty heavy stuff. And I don't expect to be putting more than 500 pounds on this hitch. And the wheelie bar I reused from the old setup. I just cut the welds off that were run on the front and back and welded the angle iron onto here. And I have an extra hole put in, so this will be the regular run height, and this would be if I was to put the wheelie bar a little bit higher for if I was using it around the house. But I think I'm going to leave it right at 5 inches, because when I had it at the 4 inches before, it was a little low at the tractor pulls. So I'm thinking 5 inches will be pretty good. We'll see how it goes. I can cut these rods or cut extra holes in this if I had to. I can change it around if I have to. Nothing here is super complicated to make. Simple and ugly, basically. But should hold up to the horsepower from the engine. And I filled this gas tank up with lead and steel wheel weights. This thing weighs like 105 pounds. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get a shot in there of all the weights. But yeah, a bunch of little pieces of wheel weights and lead and stick-on weights in there. So that's 100 pounds. That's going to sit right over the rear axle right here. There's the 2 bolts that would go on either side of it to straddle it right here. Most of the weight being in front of the axle, which is good. So I can take some of the weight off of that bar down there and have a little more freedom to move weight around. So different things like that. Now the original hitch, when I had the clevis on here before, was almost even with the back of the tires. So I'm in probably 3 inches closer now than what I was. And it'd be interesting to see if I am closer than what some Cub Cadets are, because the Cub Cadets have the bigger carrier gears than what this does. But I have extra transmissions if this one decides to blow up, which for me would be an accomplishment. I got probably 3 of these transmissions lying around. But yeah, I'm not goosing this thing up to high horsepower. I could get a little bit more of that engine. I wanted to run higher RPMs, higher compression, all that fun stuff. But I'm doing this for fun. I'm not going crazy with it. So there's a little bit of an update for you. Waiting on some threaded rod to finish that up. Wheelie bar's done. That thing's not going anywhere. And I gotta put that plate on a trailer one of these days. So just to give you an example of what I had made that clevis assembly out of, was this, I don't know what size it is, 3/8 steel. It's hard to even lift this thing. That's the same steel I used. It's just a different piece to make this, so that's pretty thick stuff. That's the thinnest point isn't even is more than a 1/2 inch thick, so I'm pretty sure that'll hold up to the force I put on it. But we'll see. If it bends it, I can make another one because I have more steel. There's actually another piece. Still quite a bit of metal left from that one plate over here. That's the plate I had used. Cut the metal out of that, so if I have to make another one, I can. So there's a bit of a tractor update for you. Got the jammer together and running, but I had a rod knock, so I'm waiting on the engine shop to come up with a game plan for that. That was kind of a bummer. Generated power though, so we'll see what happens. So hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And have a good day. And feel free to check out some of my playlists because I haven't been able to put as many videos up last few weeks because I've been cutting grass. So hope you enjoy some of those. And thanks for stopping by. Bye.